Oh my God, we're gonna talk today about the sex life of a Sagittarius Rising, specifically with a Gemini in the 7th house. But I will say before I go further that this will apply to anybody with a Sagittarius and Mars, okay? Mars being about your sex drive. I would say if you have an Eros, which is actually an asteroid, Eros in Sagittarius, I have this actually, that placement specifically. And obviously like a Venus in Sagittarius, I would even say a moon, okay? But with that said, let's dive into it. If you're here, welcome to my channel. My name is Pernell Bobby. I am your astrotherapist, helping you to master the response to suffering that you have, all right? And this is why you want to subscribe. I'm helping you find meaning all in that suffering, which is a key component of Sagittarius, by the way. All right, they integrate their pain from Scorpio season and they look at the world more optimistically. So I'm doing all of this leveraging astrology, and this is a very fun series. I'm doing every single rising sign. I've done Scorpio, Taurus, and some others. I don't even know. I think Virgo. So check out your rising sign. This is particularly about your sex life. Let's dive in. So this is probably one of the more exciting porn star type sex lives that you'll ever have. I mean, for starters, Sagittarius is a masculine fire sign, okay, and is mutable. So it's like, think mutable fire. They're gonna set little fires everywhere. So that could literally play right into, especially with Gemini in the 7th house, this whole concept of lovers and friends, all right? You're likely to see a Sagittarius with fuck buddies everywhere, okay? And because Sagittarius also runs long distance travel, they're literally getting international dick. They're literally getting international nani. It's just what it is. So don't really expect them to kind of be in one place. And that's partially because of that mutable element. Gemini is also a mutable sign as well. You put Gemini in the 7th house being like one-on-one relationships. So unless you're obviously having, I'm hot as hell. I'm about to end up taking this shirt off. Unless you end up having, wow, I'm literally hot. This place is strange. Yeah, unless you are, I'm sorry, I got off track. This heat got me. This is definitely the placement of like lovers and friends. I'll say Gemini as well. The placement of lovers and friends. This is not a very serious emotional sign. That's really a starter. I think we need to check in that like Sagittarius is an abstract thinker. Okay, Sagittarius is also one of logic. It's not really one of emotion. Like, because it's fire, it automatically carries a tremendous amount of passion, enthusiasm, but more like a cheerleader, okay? More like a hoorah, you know, pump them up. And it's like a goal, okay? Sex for them is more goal orientated, and the goal is fun. The goal is an experience of your lifetime. The goal is excitement and laughter. They want to charm your pants off through laughter and like one-line jokes, like corny ass jokes, kind of like what a Gemini would do, like where they ain't even, you know, they're very clever in the space of how they communicate in order to kind of get up in them jeans. Oh. So, you know, it's an auditory sign. You know, Gemini represents the hands, and Gemini 7th house also has a lot to do with the motor functions, okay, our motor skills. So your motor skills also count, which means that you're likely to, with the Sagittarius, they have that Sagittarius in Mars, they have the Sagittarius rising, the Sagittarius in Eros, which is like really where some of our sexual drive and passion comes from as well. You're likely to really get some of the best head of your life, okay? I can even think about this right now in my mind, and I'm like, I found myself meeting up with a lot of Sagittarius rising in my life. And as well, I have an Eros in Sagittarius. So it's like in the 1st house. So it's like, I could tell you for me, like, it is a part of literally my identity. Being in the 1st house, it's literally a part of my identity to really please the partner, okay? But again, some of that is from a playful side. It's not always that deep. So thankfully, it all depends, I think, when you're dating a Sagittarius rising or you're sexually involved with one, or you're in the friends of benefit situation and you want to know, is it possible for things to be more? Don't lose hope, okay? It can be more than just the physical action of making their partner feel like, what the hell, what an adventure. Adventure being key word, all about freedom, all about expansion. They want to expand what you believe sex can even feel like, what you believe, belief is Sagittarius thing, what you believe sex can even be like, okay? And they want to expand your horizons by trying out some new moves, some moves, I'm talking like porn star moves, like things where you're like, yo, where the hell did you get this? And these are the type of people where like, they're all about, they're intellectuals, right? So like they would have been reading about sex. I can tell you for me, myself, like, I think I was working at a grocery store and I think at like 14 years old, like I was literally reading a magazine about sex. I'm sorry, I'm hot, 1 second. Okay, forgive me. Honestly, I was just cooking. You can probably already see my body sweating. This is a Sagittarius kind of thing, right? They're really, really quick to take the clothes off. They can just blink. So I got a lot of friends. I got a roommate who was a Sagittarius, a guy. I've dated women who are Sagittarius risings. And it's like, to be honest, it's like, it's always an adventure. This is definitely a key term, but it can't just be an adventure. You need to have some intellect, okay? They're not likely to want to approach you, or even you won't even show up on their radar or their atmosphere if you don't have some sort of intellect, okay? Some sort of intelligence. They need to have, okay, like I said, motor skills for Gemini, 7th house. Gemini is the communication. It's the lungs of the zodiac. It spreads information, it spreads knowledge, and it just wants to talk to talk. And Sagittarius is the opposite of that, and there's a lot of the same, which is, again, with the motor skills being part of your mouth, you can imagine there's a lot of different forms. Like they're willing to lick in some strange places that you would just be like, generally it's kind of like that. Like afterwards you went through a tornado, you're like, what the f just happened? Okay, so this is one of the interesting, fun things about it, because, you know, I am a Scorpio rising, right? So it's like the other part of me, as well as like my Mars in Cancer, these parts of me, the water really slow down the fact that I'm in Aries. It slows down this Eros placement of Sagittarius in me. All that fire, it gets watered down, and I really require, especially in the later stages of my life, the younger stages of my life, like it just was what it was. Like it was what it was. It's like, look, here's an action. I'm here today. You can get what you can get. But if not, like, it's a mutable fire. It's gonna just dip. It's gonna be moving. It's gonna like, look, I need to hop on a plane. Like, you missed your chance. Literally, it will be the one to hop on a plane. Like, you can expect this. This is the one where, depending on the stage, if you want to relieve your suffering, you know, it's all about detaching yourself from the outcome. So how you can partially do that is if you know that you're in a space where you're dating a Sag or something like that, you're coming across a Sagittarius, you should really be asking yourself, communicate, because they like to talk. Communicate up front, like what your intentions are. If you are really not here for a hit it and quit it, you got to really communicate that. You want to manage your suffering and the outcome of that relationship, you got to really communicate that when you come across a Sagittarius rising, a Sagittarius moon, anything with Sagittarius placement, you got to really communicate that, because you can get your feelings hurt all the way to the max, literally, because not only are they gonna just give you the best experience, okay, not emotionally connected connection, all right, not necessarily sacred sex, not necessarily tantric sex, even though Sagittarius is a ridiculously spiritual sign, and depending on their level of evolution, as they get older or more mature, I imagine, quite frankly, that they get more to, I am breaking out. They get more towards the sacred sex, the more to the tantric sex, where, look, they may not, they focus more on sexual transmutation. I can tell you, this is the areas of my life that I'm actually at. But this is, again, the maturity of me, okay, with that Eros and Sagittarius. That's not the younger version of me, right? Where it's like, you got to be mindful of this. So if you want to manage the suffering that you're gonna potentially experience up front, talk and communicate very clearly with your Sagittarius. I am breaking out. I'm having a whole allergic reaction right now, and I don't know what for the last 3 days. I'm sorry. I'm like itching. It's like, So yeah, with the Gemini 7th house piece, this is part of why they're so lovers and friends type, right? Because Gemini being the lungs of the zodiac, one that wants to communicate, yada, yada, yada. 7th house being all about committed relationships. Yeah, committed relationship, or I'll say significant relationships, one-on-one interactions. Unless you're having a threesome or a foursome, it's like you're probably one-on-one having sex with somebody, right? So like how they're gonna approach that is they're gonna also be like air, okay? They're gonna be really fluid. They're not gonna wanna be tied down. And this is a key thing with this placement is if you are dating or even just sexually involved, but you find yourself catching feelings with a Gemini / Sagittarius, what I'll mention is make sure to take some days in between and don't overly indulge yourself with them. Even if the option is there, don't just go day after day after day after day after day with that person, especially if you like them, because they can very quickly and easily feel smothered, and it's like, oh, you're just lost. You're lost. It doesn't mean that that relationship couldn't work or wasn't gonna work, or even that they can't and they're unable of a deep emotional connection, because that's not true. It's absolutely not true. So I don't want anybody to believe that, because you'll hear a lot of people that talks about this sex with a Sagittarius, and it's like, no, it's actually only a good, fun, adventurous time where I learned a couple new things and I expanded, you know, my knowledge on what was possible. That's gonna always happen anyways. However, if you take the moment to recognize how important a sense of freedom is, think about the air wind sign, Gemini, it can just go through any crack. The fire sign of Sag, it's like, look, its sense of freedom is tied to adventure. So if the adventure ever is up, all right, or if they get bored, which is a key thing behind Gemini 7th house as well as Sagittarius, they can get bored. So if you just going at it 3, 4, 5 days in a row, you might even had a real good chance with them to go deeper. But those 4, 5, 7 days in a row, it's like, if you only wanted to have fun for transient moments, that's fine. But you're likely to lose them after that, because they're going to be like, look, you know, they done showed me all their tricks. I done showed them a bunch of new tricks and I'm bored. So, you know, they're very likely, because they're so expansive, they're very likely to not care as well, like who they're banging, right? Like one day it'll be like a fat Asian chick, and the next day it'll be like this skinny bombshell African woman, you know what I'm saying? And then the next day it's all, because they run long distance travel. So it's like long distance travel is meaning international nani, international mandingos, you feel me? So this is something to really be mindful of. But if you're looking to be more in the dating scene and you like this person and you know you like them, you should communicate this, but do it in a way that doesn't make them feel caged, because they're gonna find ways to escape, okay? I think that Sagittarius are escape artists, all right? They really, really are. But on the positive side of dating a Sagittarius rising is, like, depending on what stage of maturity you're with them, they're likely to actually give you an expanded form of connection, something that's very adaptable, something that's very flexible, something that doesn't make you feel like you need to be stuck in this this one-way monogamous type of relationship. Even if you guys are monogamous, they have ways to be very flexible and adaptable to focus and be in a monogamous relationship, but also to give you your freedom, because they also don't want their freedom challenged. So this is something that's beautiful. If you find yourself not necessarily fearing intimacy, with easily Gemini 7th house can easily be on that descendant side, it can easily be somebody who is not willing to go too emotionally deep, and they always seem to keep a cool head. All right, Gemini has the ability to be very objective. So does Sagittarius. They keep a cool head. Their emotions aren't really going to dictate what they know is right for them. All right, so these are the things to kind of be wary of, so that you don't attach too much to the outcome of this idea of who you think this person is, and rather accept them for their entirety. And again, all this is going to change depending on what placement is in, whether it's Mars in Sagittarius. I've also seen like a Mars in Sagittarius in the 6th house, where 6th house is all about the mundane. So it's like they were able to actually be grounded. I actually had a girlfriend with a 6th house in Mars in Sagittarius, and it's like, the irony is over the years we dated, we actually only had sex maybe twice, like literally like twice. So it's like, it all depends, and that could have been for whatever other different reasons, and it was a good time in my life where like I was stepping into new forms of myself, where I didn't need the physical contact. Not even saying that I didn't want it, but for whatever reason there was also some sort of mutual understanding. I am breaking out crazy. So this is really the Sagittarius rising. I'm gonna pull it there, actually, to like and subscribe this video, especially if you want to master your response to suffering and you want to do it and find meaning leveraging astrology. This is the channel you want to check in with. I'm going live daily, okay? Maybe like at least 3 to 4 times a week. And I really appreciate when you guys check in there and you're in the comments chatting live. Thank you for helping the growth of my channel. This is Pernell Bobby, your astrotherapist, asking you to one last time like and subscribe this. Let me know what your experiences were like down in the comments. Drop a Sagittarius emoji if you're still here, and let me know what your experience is like in the comments with a Sagittarius and where their Sagittarius placement was. Was it Venus? Was it Mars? Did you notice any differences? And the last thing I want to like really implement is this is very different if you have a Sagittarius with other wind signs or other fire signs. You can pretty much expect like maybe like a pounding, like the adventure is something that is lacking that emotional connection. But when you add that water or you add those earth signs in there, it drastically grounds with the earth sign or waters down with the water sign that drive within that person. Because mind you, we're a collection of many different zodiacs, so you should never just pretend that a Sagittarius is all Sagittarius. No, they guaranteed have each and every single zodiac within them. It's the combination of them and the integration and how we look at ourselves as a whole product, rather than thinking, oh, that Sagittarius broke my heart, you know, all they wanted was sex. No, it's never ever that simple. Like, so don't like write anybody off. Don't believe that it's a one size fits all kind of thing, and really like take your time to be to embrace the entirety of every zodiac, to embrace the entirety of all the parts of you. All right, but this is my interpretation of the Sagittarius rising and their sex life, what that looks like when you're dating them. If you're more in the dating, just to extend that just a little bit, it's like you got to be smart. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you're a dumb cookie, you're not gonna keep your attention and you're gonna get your shit broken. Like, I mean, like your heart's gonna either be broken or they're gonna ghost you. Sagittarius can be the ghoster. Gemini can be a ghoster. They can literally leave you in the middle of nowhere. And just the same way that they can, you know, bang your brains out in the middle of nowhere with that long distance travel. Like, they love the versatility, they love the freedom, especially the freedom of thought. They love abstract thinking. They're the ones that want to go to museums. They're always going to want to try something new. It's all about expansion. So if you're somebody who's very mundane and you don't ever really want to expand, you don't want new experiences, it doesn't mean that the Sagittarius can't do some of the mundane, because I also know Sagittarius rising with a lot of earth energy within her, where it's like this one part of her is like this, but this other part of her is a walking dichotomy. Okay, so you got to really take in all the parts and don't try to put anybody into a box or a label in such a way. So this is my personal experience, Sagittarius. I want you to one at a time drop a Sagittarius or a Gemini emoji down below, whichever one you resonate with the most if you're still here. And with that being said, as a finale, I'm also always offering this 15-minute free astrotherapy session. So you can check the link in my bio if it's still there by the time you watch this video. And I'm giving out free 15-minute natal readings. And it's something where I think is very beneficial, especially if you're in a relationship or you want a love reading or you want channeled messages. I'm the guy to do that for you. It's Pernell Bobby asking you to like and subscribe. Thank you.